Okay, so now that you've had some time to do the graphing and to answer some of the questions, I'm going to show us graphs and then we're going to talk. This is the graph that I got for the first three. You agree? Okay, what do you notice about these three lines? It looks like they are parallel. Okay, so do these lines ever intersect? We should have said no. These are parallel lines. If we were to keep going, would they ever intersect?
No.
No. What is the other type of line that never intersects? Yeah, somebody? Skew. Why are these parallel and not skew? They're on the same plane. The plane being the projector or your iPad. What do you notice about their slopes? They're all the same. But what do we notice about their y-intercepts? They're different. Okay, so what I was hoping we would kind of understand here is that parallel lines have the same slope. So you don't even have to graph them. If I gave you some lines over here, like y equals 5x minus 1, and y equals negative 5x plus 7, and y equals 5x plus 11, and I asked you which ones were parallel without even graphing, you would tell me which ones. First one and the last one, right? Same slope, same slope. These are going to be parallel. So as long as you know the slopes are the same, that's all that matters. Your lines will be parallel. Okay, let's look at the second one that you did. These were the graphs I got here. Okay, 1 and 2, they intersect. But it doesn't really look like there's anything special. 3 and 4 intersect, but they look like they intersect in a certain way. What does it look like may be true of 3 and 4? They are perpendicular. And what does perpendicular mean? They form a 90-degree angle. They form a right angle. Okay, so which pairs look perpendicular? Hopefully we said lines 3 and 4. Okay, here is the part where we need to be a little more specific. What is true about the slopes of lines 3 and 4? So they're 1/2 and negative 2. What do we say between the fact that one is positive and one is negative, right? Did we notice that? Yes. Okay, do you know what it's called when you take the 1/2 and you flip it to make it 2/1? Reciprocal. So they are opposite reciprocals. They are opposite signs. And the fractions are flipped. Did you notice, though, with 1 and 2, when we just took the slope and switched to the sign, that was not perpendicular? So positive 3, negative 3 is not perpendicular. They're opposites, but they're not reciprocals. So the thing with perpendicular lines to know is the slopes have to be opposite, they have to be flipped. So there are two things that are required. Okay, so let's now fill in this box. Okay, the big thing I need us to get out of today, parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Opposite again, positive, negative, reciprocal being flipped. At this point, we just have examples. So I want to do some examples. We'll take a break, finish the examples. These are the only two things I need us to get from today. Let's go to the next page and look at some examples. Okay, write the equation of the line with the given information. Write the equation of a line that has a slope of -3 and a y-intercept of 0, 5. Okay, so you all tell me. Slope of -3 and a y-intercept of 0, 5. Manny, thank you.
Y equals -3x plus 5.
Great, that's it. We're done. B, equation of a line that goes through the point -2, 5 and has a slope of 3/5. Marin?
Y equals 3/5x plus 5.
So very close. Is that 5 the y-intercept?
I thought so.
Y-intercept will be 0, some number. So you're close. What's the other form of a line? So we have y equals mx plus b. What's the other one? Point slope. Anybody remember the form for that?
1 minus 5 equals 3 fifths x, wait, no, like parentheses x minus -2, well, plus 2.
Great. Okay, and then that subtract a negative, I do want us to make that a positive. Okay, is there any reason to solve for y?
No.
No, do not do extra work. If you do solve for y, it's not wrong, it's just extra work. Okay, so C, write the equation of a line that goes to the point 4, -1 and is perpendicular to the line with the equation -2x minus 11. Okay, I'm just going to call on a few people and we're going to go from there. Kai, for the equation that's written, what is the slope?
The slope is -2x.
Okay, great. The slope, just the number, is the -2. The slope is just the -2. Perpendicular slope, we said, has to be opposite, so it's going to have to be positive, and it has to be a reciprocal. Zulkarnain, what is the reciprocal of 2? 1/2. And then because it's an opposite sign, it's a positive 1/2. So we know our slope is positive 1/2. And we know we have to go through this point 4, -1. Bless you. Chloe, can you write me the equation of a line, please, that has a slope of 1/2 and that goes through the point 4, -1?
Y minus -1 equals 1/2 parentheses x minus 4.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So simplifying that subtract a negative, we get 1/2. And there's our line. Hopefully this is not too bad. Okay. D. Write the equation of a line that goes through the point 4, -1 and is parallel to the line with the equation y equals 5x, add 1. AJ, what is the slope of the line that we are given?
5x.
So just the 5, not the x. Okay, parallel slopes are the same. So if we want these lines to be parallel, we're just going to use the same exact slope. And then we still have that point of 4, -1. Berkeley, would you be so kind as to write me the equation of a line, please, that has a slope of 5 and goes through 4, -1?
Y minus -1 equals 5 parentheses x minus 4.
Great, thank you very much. So that gives us y add 1 is equal to 5 multiplied by x subtract 4. Can you give me a quick, thumbs up, fine, hate it? Pretty good? Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Can we keep going? Okay. We got one more page of examples and then we're done. I'm going to do one more with you and then you're going to do a few of them. Are the lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? What we've done already when we've looked at parallel and perpendicular, we've looked at slope. So we're going to need to calculate some slope. Starting with the slope of line A. Charlie, can you please set up the slope of line A, please?
4 minus 6 over 8 minus 1.
Okay, so I would get negative 2 over 7. Thomas, can you please set up the slope of line B?
12 minus 5, and then over x, or 2, just 2.
Okay, so we get 7 over 2. Okay, so parallel lines, our slopes would be the same. That's not the case here. If our lines were perpendicular, our slopes would be opposite, so one positive, one negative, and reciprocals. That's what we have here. They're flipped and opposing signs. So what we have right here, perpendicular. It also could be neither. It's possible to have slopes that aren't the same and aren't opposite reciprocals. Questions for me before you all do a few more? Okay. Last few things that we are going to do. I would like, please, for you to do all 3 of these. So all 3 of these I would like you to try. Take, let's say, 6 or 7 minutes with the person next to you, and we will go over. For the first one, I got slopes of negative 2/3 and negative 2/3. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure we know one thing. So just a quick note, and maybe you already know this, I'm just making sure. Negative 2 over 3 is the same as negative 2 over 3, which is the same as 2 over negative 3. All of those are the same number. So I ended up with the negative in the denominator, but if I had ended up with it in the numerator, that would be the same. Those are the same number. Something I did see, though, on your homework that I want to make sure we understand is if we have something like this, negative 2 over negative 3, is that a positive or a negative number? Positive. That is a positive 2/3. So make sure we're careful with that. For this one, set up your slope. A lot of you ended up with a -9 and positive down here. That's fine. I just subtracted differently than you did. But then you got to make sure you find what you're asked for. You're asked for x. So this I've set up for the slope, but I know the slope is 3. If you put it as 3 over 1, we can cross multiply. And you end up with -5, I believe. Do you guys agree? Okay. I started the last one but didn't finish, and so I want to make sure we finish together. Parallel has the same slope. So I set up for my slope. I'm going to set this equal now to -1/2. Now, does that negative go with the 1, the 2, or both of them? I can actually choose. I can't put it with both. I can put it with the 1 or the 2. So do you want the negative with the 1 or the 2?
2.
Okay. I heard a really strong 2, so I'm going to go with the 2. And now, cross multiply. 1 times -6 is just -6. When you cross multiply, you're setting equal then. So we have -2 multiplied by 5, subtract k. So then if I distribute, I have -6 is equal to -10, add 2k. add my 10 on over. So I get 4 is equal to 2k, so k equals 2. Okay, we are going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and write a few more things, like 5 minutes remaining. Okay, few quick things for us to know. If I were to ask you something like this, are these lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? Parallel, perpendicular. Or neither. Okay, sometimes they're going to be pretty easy. Like if I ask you this one, y equals 2x plus 4 and y equals 2x minus 7. What would you tell me? Parallel. Why? Same slope. Okay, sometimes I need us to be really careful. Like if I say this, y equals 2x plus 4, y equals negative 2x minus 7. Neither. Neither. 2 and 2 would be parallel. What is perpendicular to a slope of 2? Negative 1/2. Okay. What about something like this? Y equals x minus 7 and y equals negative x plus 11. Are they parallel? No, very clearly not parallel. Not the same slope. So the question is, are they perpendicular or neither?
Either.
Okay, so what is our slope for this first line?
X.
1.
Yeah, they were.
What is our slope for the second line? Negative 1. Are those opposite? Yes. Are they reciprocals? What is the reciprocal of 1? Just 1. So these are opposite reciprocals. So these are actually perpendicular. Okay, and then here's where I want to make sure that we are very careful. If we were to get something like this, 2x plus y equals 10, I have to think. I can't do it in my head. X minus 2y equals 12. Can we tell the slope just by looking at these? No. There is no way for us to answer parallel, perpendicular, or neither right now because we don't know the slope right away. How could I find the slope? Well, this is standard form currently. What form are we? The y equals mx plus b? Okay, so right here, if I solve for y, I get y equals 10, subtract 2x. Terrell, what's my slope? What? What's the slope? Oh, well, that's an issue. Ryder, what is the slope?
10.
Come on now. Next to the
Okay.
X.
Number in front of the x is our slope.
2.
Negative 2. Okay, we're all on the same page. Slope is negative 2. Great, love that. Okay, if we look at this second line, I'm going to subtract x. I'll put x first because we tend to like that, I think. And then I'm going to divide by negative 2. What is negative x divided by negative 2?
1/2.
Positive 1/2 x. 12 divided by negative 2, negative 6. So here we get a slope of 1/2. On your homework, I expect to see this work. If you are given two equations in standard form and you write an answer and don't have any evidence, as to where your answer came from, I'm not going to give you credit. You got to find what the slope is. Questions, comments? Great, that's our notes for today.